All right, third example is direct variation. So as one thing goes up, the other thing goes up as well. Something like studying and your quiz scores could be said to be directly variated. The more you study, the higher your quiz scores go. So as one goes up, the other goes up. The model we're going to use is y equals kx. A couple different ways to say it. Y varies directly as x. Y is directly proportional to x. And on this, k, oops, sorry, screen's off a little, is not 0. K can't be 0. So let's take a look. All right. In Pennsylvania, income tax is directly proportional to gross income. As soon as I see directly proportional, I'm writing y equals kx. We'll go ahead and find some values afterwards. You are working in Pennsylvania and your state income tax deduction is 46.05 for a gross monthly income of $1,500. Right? Find a mathematical model that gives the Pennsylvania state income in terms of gross income. All right, so we've talked about this before. In terms of is saying what's by itself, and so the thing that came first is the income tax. So we need to put that all by itself. So the income tax was 4605. That's in terms of, so by itself. K we don't know, and x is 1,500. So our job here is to get k all by itself. Divide both sides by 1,500. And k equals 0.0307. All right, so we know what the relationship is between the $46.05 and the 1,500. But what we're saying here is that this is going to stay constant no matter what your income is. So we can go back into our original equation, and instead of having exact values like $46, we can say any value, y, equals, we know what our constant is. This is kind of like our slope. In y equals mx plus b, this is also a direct variation problem except for the b. The mx is your direct variation. So just like when we find m, we plug it back in. We find k, we're going to plug it back in. And we'd have a solution for direct variation. All right, give it a shot for yourself on problem 43. Pause me, press play when you're ready to go. OK, let's take a look at this. Property tax is based on the assessed value of property. A house has been assessed. So direct variation, y equals kx. 150,000 has a property tax of 5520, and we want y in terms of the assessed value x. And so 150,000 is the assessed value. We know that that's x. We know that y is 5520, and so we're going to divide. And so k equals, let me find my calculator, and so 5520 over 150,000 is 0.0368. And so we're going to plug it back in for our y equals 0.0368 x. And then they say use the model to find the property tax on a house that has an assessed value of $225,000. Now that we have a model, we can go ahead and plug in other values other than 150,000 and see what the assessment should be. So y equals 0.0368. Go ahead and plug in a new value for x. And so y equals 0.0368 times 225,000 and 8280 is what we get.